Good afternoon, everyone. Coming to you from Big Bend Ranch State Park. And I'm making this video to review the Sunray Sport 149T from Sunset Trailers. Mine is a 2025. I bought it October of 2024. And just want to do a review on it because there's not a lot out there on YouTube regarding this trailer. I've seen a lot of videos of dealers walking through it, oohing and ahhing. But I really haven't seen much real world. Here I've got one. Let me show you what I've done with it, done to it. Because these trailers, just like almost any RV you buy, are not 100% perfect right out of the box. There's going to be something you want to change, or something that's not right, or something that's broke. If you've ever bought a new RV, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Something ain't going to work right. So I just want to, I've had mine now for 4 months. I've taken it a lot of places, been a lot of boondocking, been state parks, Corps of Engineer campgrounds, and then places like this. So I just want to give you a quick review of and tell you what I've had to do to it. First of all, right out of the box, these things come with a 100-watt solar panel up on top. And when I got it home and was going all over it and poking and pulling and seeing what worked and made sure everything was good, I noticed that the 100-watt solar panel wasn't charging the battery. The little 65 amp hour marine battery they put on these things wasn't charging. So process of elimination, and when I pulled the charge controller off the wall, the panel wasn't even connected to it. So I don't know if that's something that the dealer would have to do, or that's something that should come from the factory put together. I don't know, but mine wasn't done. So I connected that up, bam, everything worked great. On this particular trip I'm on, it would get kind of cold. It was down into the 20s, and the furnace just wouldn't, the fan would come on, but it wouldn't heat. It'd run for like 3 or 4 seconds and quit. So I'll be messing with that when I get back. Otherwise, some of the things I had to change, let's get a close-up. These stabilizing jacks, they just had the little flat plate on the bottom, and you would almost have to extend the stabilizing jack all the way down for it to make contact with the ground. So one of the very first things I did was I pulled that off, and I put those little thick blocks on the bottom of them. I don't remember off the top of my head what those are called, but it's these things. I put these on, and I got these bigger tall blocks so the jacks don't have to go all the way down. That was literally the first thing that I did. And also, when I picked it up from the dealer, they didn't have the tongue jack on any kind of block. They had it on nothing. It was just on the ground, and then it wasn't tall enough to put on my truck, so they had to use a little forklift to pick it up so we could set it on there. So the very next thing I did, at the same time I ordered those little things for the stabilizing jacks, order a new tongue jack with an adjustable tongue, or with an adjustable leg, so that I can adjust the height on it. They come with a little 20-pound bottle for propane. Not good enough for me, so I got a Flame King 30-pound that's got the gauge in it, so I can monitor my usage of propane. That's a modification I did. The 20-pound probably for most instances would be good, but we do a lot of boondocking. Like right now, we are literally, there's probably nobody for 50 miles where we're at. We had to climb out here, 4-wheel drive, tires aired down, slow crawling. It took us about 3 hours to get to our site. And it come out to just under 40 miles from the highway to get out here. So kind of slow picking. They come with a Lippert ladder attachment up there, but no ladder. So I bought a ladder because it is a walkable roof, which is a good thing. Let's walk up there and we'll look at the roof. I'll bore you with my old knees climbing. So up here on the roof, they come with a Dometic Fantastic fan or some sort of derivative of that, which is great, but there's no cover on it. And if you've got any experience with RVs, you know what that means. And I was actually at Dinosaur Valley and left the lid up and the fan going, pulling air into the camper, and left one of the windows cracked, just kind of get some ventilation through it. And when I got back, I kept hearing this whacking sound, and it was honeybees that were flying around the top and just getting sucked in and getting murdered by the fan. So I got a fan cover and put on it, and some of that self-sealing self-leveling sealant and got it mounted down. This is your 100-watt panel that these things come with. So far, so good with that. I had to get up here this morning and wash it off, and I just left the ladder because we got here about dark last night, and it was a dusty ride. But anyway, this is a good roof. I put a little ball up here so I can mount my Starlink. Depends on where I'm at. With this here, I just got it out on a tripod, but this allows me to mount it onto the roof, and the attachment I have, I can turn it any direction that I need to go. So, I'll meet you back down on the ground. Okay, so we're back up here. Forgive all my various power accoutrements spread around the top there. It has underneath that box, it's got the 2 rails that you always see on RVs where your battery goes. And these things come with a 65 amp hour marine battery. Well, the thing is, you're never going to get 65 hours out of those things. And if you try, you're going to kill your battery. So one of the next modifications I did was I bought a 100 amp hour lithium battery. I got a Battleborn, but there's other brands out there, definitely cheaper brands that I wish I would have been more aware of. But at any rate, so I put a Battleborn on there, and those things are not cheap. It hurt a lot to buy that. And then you run into the problem of, do I just want to leave my extremely expensive battery on the front of my trailer exposed to the weather and people with sticky fingers? So that wasn't going to work for me. So I actually rerouted the battery, and I put it inside of a steel box underneath out here, underneath the dinette, because if you've watched the videos on these, you know up here in the front end is your dinette. And so in the storage area underneath the dinette on this end, I put that box, I mounted it to the floor and brought my wiring in through the floor and mounted the battery in there. And then additionally, I ran some more wires out and bought these little posts right here. There's obviously the positive and there's the negative, mounted them to the frame, ran wires to them up here. So because I have a suitcase solar panel from Renogy, a 200 watt, and it comes with these battery clamps that's here, and that way I can get access to my battery. So I've updated the power system. My goal is to actually get another one of those, so I have 200 amp hours, and those batteries are like the batteries in your cell phone. You know, you can run them down to 10% and not kill the battery, or you can run it all the way out and it ain't gonna kill it. You just charge the thing back up, and you can mount them at angles, and they don't need to be vented. It's such a better battery than the marine batteries. So those are some of the upgrades that I've had to do to this. Here's another thing that I didn't think. I've had several RVs and travel trailers and such, and I didn't even think to look at this. All your piping is exposed underneath this travel trailer. Your hot water, cold water, everything. It's just exposed. I can't see my screen, so hopefully it's all getting in there. So I had to go and insulate it all. It was just exposed. Most travel trailers, you know, you have your plastic and insulation, and then your piping, and then your floor. These have no insulation underneath it. It's just wood, and they put the plastic there, and then the piping was all exposed under there. So I had to go and I insulated every inch of it, just to kind of give it some sort of protection. Okay. Remember, we're camping people, but let's go take a look at the inside. So this is the dinette when you first walk in, and again, underneath this bench in that storage area in the back is where I have the battery at. Let me turn this fan off for a second. Okay, I'm not a professional travel trailer modifier. But there's no counter space in these things. Literally, there's no counter space. You know, what's this, 10 inches maybe? That's what you got. One of my complaints is when you're using the sink, the water will splash out over onto the bedding. So I'm going to have to modify something. I'll probably build a plexiglass wall or something here. Right now, we're just using the sink thing and just kind of prop it up there to try to catch some of the water drops that go flying over. I mean, you don't have that many options that you could do in a trailer this size, but that's definitely terrible. But that's better than putting your stove over there and possibly catching your bed on fire and burning this thing down. But anyway, back over to this. With no counter space, I wanted to get a countertop extension. This is the one from Camco, and it has a little hinge that goes underneath the bottom. I did it. I followed instructions. That worked out great. That's an awesome product. But my problem was, and I'm a dum-dum and didn't think about it, with that hinge on it, it actually sticks out a little bit. Well, these steps fold in here. That was no bueno. So let's see if I can't see the screen. Hopefully it's on here. I bought one of these. I bought a pack of these doodads from Amazon, and cut a stick and put a little non-slippy thing on the bottom, and so I can prop it up, and it actually made it a lot more solid than the hinge from Camco. Now the thing lays flat, and when the steps are up, it holds it and keeps it from flopping around. So I went over, since the particle board, you know, countertop thing was exposed, I put a few coats of this MDF sealant on it, and then just painted it white. And of course I had to cut the trim out so this thing would go up flush. So I mean, it's not much. I don't remember what that is, 14, 15 inches, I think 14 inches. But that's more counter space that now, while someone's there cooking, that they can do. Another problem I had with this, I'm not going to open the door and look, but that's the wet bath in there, the wet toilet, whatever you call them. And the toilet in there was super duper floppy. And so I had to go and tighten that down to make it solid. I think on the interior, that's all the modifications I've made. I might upgrade this charge controller. I'm not for sure, but you've all seen these. If you watch the videos on the 149T from the dealers, you know, that's, you know, you're good there. You know what that stuff looks like. Okay, my battery's at 100%. But trying to think, we've just taken various pictures from our travels in this thing. We've took some pictures and just mounted them in there. Had to put hooks in various places. What else would I change? Yeah, this is a crappy design. When you got your blind all the way down, kicks your bench out, your back seat there. So when you lift it up where you can put your thing down, now you got this gap where people can look in your window, which I put Reflectix in all my windows, so no biggie there. I think, oh yeah, this stuff here from when they were making them, this little metal stuff, I don't know if you can see that. Dude, that was everywhere, and all this come rattling out from wherever when on this drive we just took. The hot water heater underneath there, that was full of it. I just got in there with a shop vacuum, vacuumed that all out. I guess they could have done a better job and cleaning up. But I think that's all the modifications, other than obviously a new mattress. Who wants to sleep on the mattress an RV comes with? So I updated that. But all right, let's go back outside and finish this up. So my final thoughts. I think it's a good trailer. It did fantastic on the trip in here, which was rough. I mean, very slow. That I know it's got the suspension for an off-road trailer, but I don't know if the rest of the construction of this thing was made for off-road trailer. But it's great. It's great. I guess when I get home, because I got to climb all the way back out of here, I'll give it everything a good once over and washing and see how it did. But so far, I give it a thumbs up. It's been great. We've had a lot of fun. We've went to a lot of places in it. Just in the 4 months we've had it, man, we've probably put, oh good Lord, probably 5,000 or 6,000 miles on it. So it's a great trailer, and I hope this helps somebody that's been looking at these but can't find any real world users with it. That's my thoughts. Leave your comments below.